So I've decided that for the month of February, I will be embarking upon a personal challenge, a sustainability experiment, and I'm going to document it publicly here.
My name is River, and over the past few years, I've been feeling a deep, primal beckoning into a slower life, rooted in a desire to live more harmoniously with nature's rhythms. I invite you to join me as I expand my curiosity and embark on adventures to commune with beautiful planet Earth, partaking in all of her mystery and abundance.
Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I've been back in Ventura for a few weeks now after my 16-day long solo winter road trip with my cats. I've been getting back into my normal habits and routines and rhythms and recalibrating. I've been doing a personal inventory with my life and who I am and the choices that I make on a daily basis. A lot has come up for me in the last month. I had so many different realizations while I was on my nomadic adventure. And I think the biggest realization that I've had is that I lack the knowledge and skills and experience to live fully in alignment with my highest desires and values. When I break down what my highest desires and values are, it has to do with authenticity and living fully out of a space of joy and passion, connection, being in connection with other people and other human beings, with nature and with the planet. And that goes into the third one, which is living more harmoniously with nature's rhythms and making choices in how I live my life that decreases or completely eliminates my participation in systems of exploitation and oppression. So I've decided that for the month of February, I will be embarking upon a personal challenge, a sustainability experiment, and I'm going to document it publicly here. I don't expect anyone to want to live the way that I want to live or to do the things that I want to do. But what I do hope for is to encourage and inspire people that it is possible to live differently and to make different choices. It is possible to rewrite habits and patterns. It is possible to rewrite our beliefs. It is my belief that my existence should not require anyone else or anything else to suffer in order for me to simply live and exist. I believe that it's fully possible for humans to exist in harmony with one another. And it's only the learned belief that conflict is inevitable that keeps us from operating compassionately with empathy toward one another. This challenge, this experiment will stretch me. And I'm actually really looking forward to the public accountability in sharing everything and being transparent with everything. I do want to acknowledge that this challenge is not about my political affiliations, my moral compass, or any kind of religious beliefs. This is about my personal integrity and living in full authenticity. I'm not setting out to do it perfectly. I'm setting out to challenge and stretch myself into cultivating new habits, new patterns, and new beliefs. And the belief that fuels all of it is that I think all things are possible. I believe in fractal possibility, that every single idea followed by intention and consistency of action creates multiple offshoots of opportunities and other possibilities. And I've seen that in my life. I've seen it mathematically, how things just open up and expand when we make radical moves in order to position ourselves in alignment with our highest sense of authenticity. So my sustainability challenge is essentially living as waste-free as I possibly can for the month of February. This challenge is not about politics, morality, or rules. It's about my personal integrity and living in highest alignment with my values and desires. My values. I am already enough. Nothing about my life circumstances defines me. My value is intrinsic, and my choices and actions reflect my desires. I deeply desire to live in such a way that my existence does as little harm to others, the planet, animals, living beings, as possible. My heart attitude and daily choices are my most valuable resources and powerful tools. The only person I have control over is myself. I share and teach to encourage and inspire with compassion and empathy. Compassionate communication is leaps and bounds more effective in connecting with other humans than shame or fear-based methods. The experiment. To live waste-free for 1 month, all trash must be saved and stored for the entire month of February. I will reuse bags and jars and continue expanding my knowledge of the foraging process in order to feed and sustain myself. I will be giving up caffeine, or at least caffeine in the form of coffee, and THC, which I use only as a sleep aid at the moment. Some things that I will be doing as a part of setting myself up for the experiment. These are my preparations. I need to clean out my fridge and reorganize my kitchen. I am working on creating a plan for my cats in feeding them and sustaining them as well. I've already done a couple of things to make pet ownership more sustainable for myself. I'm going to utilize sewing my own bags and creating my own bags. I will have my own compost bins and trash systems for whatever trash I do bring into the house so that we don't have a home overflowing with garbage. I'm going to be changing my relationship with water. I will be bathing only in natural bodies of water and only using natural bodies of water to wash my clothes. The dishes are a little bit more complicated, so I will be utilizing a strategy to minimize my usage of water when I do the dishes. I will use what I already have. I will use chamois cloths instead of paper towels. I am taking foraging classes, and I will utilize barter and trade systems as much as I can. My mission is, regardless of my moral compass, religious beliefs, or political affiliations, my participation in capitalism and modern societal consumerism is directly related to systems of exploitation and oppression. It is my desire to radically diminish my participation in these systems in order to live in highest alignment with my values and desires. People, animals, and the planet as a whole should not have to suffer so that I can live more comfortably and conveniently. I will use my creativity and resourcefulness as a means to thrive minimalistically. I will live as far outside of global industrialization as possible while still living in a city. I love the idea of going fully feral and living and surviving alone in the forest, but the uncomfortable reality is that I lack the knowledge, strength, and skills required to accomplish that. I also greatly value community and connection, which requires relationships, which requires a certain level of participation in society. Cultivating these skills and developing new patterns and habits will take time. This will be a process, and part of that process will be sharing and teaching my newfound knowledge and experiences, acknowledging contradictions and hypocrisies. I still rely upon using fossil fuels because using electronics, anything that requires electricity, utilizes fossil fuels. Even if I were to be completely off-grid using solar technologies, the resources required to create solar technologies are part of what is harming people and harming our planet right now. I cook on a gas stove using an appliance, and I also utilize this vehicle to travel in, which I have to fill with gas, which is fossil fuels. I don't like that, and I don't have a solution for it right now. I'm taking baby steps. It is my belief and opinion that humans shouldn't need to rely solely upon personal vehicle ownership for transportation and acquisition of resources or employment. I know that it is fully possible to live in beautiful cities or towns that produce abundant resources and accessible shelter or housing for all socioeconomic classes. There is no reason why we cannot invest in our own cities and local infrastructure to cultivate walkable communities with easy access to nourishing foods, natural spaces, and safe shelter. For me, it's not about following a moral code with rules based on a label I identify with. It's about using creativity to troubleshoot my circumstances in a way that steers my beingness into a more harmonious rhythm with nature. The goal is to close unnecessary loops that contribute to systems of destruction and exploitation. There is abundance all around us. In my neighborhood alone, there are edible and medicinal plants that grow abundantly, but for convenience and sightliness to maintain the aesthetic, they are chopped down, thrown away, kept behind fences, or sprayed with pesticides. What if front yards became permaculture gardens, paradises full of native plants, edible fruit trees, and herbs? What if neighbors shared resources and we cultivated community values of sharing and not taking more than what we need? I believe in heavily investing in our own neighborhoods and communities, which means I need to be living in alignment with that belief. I love traveling and exploring nature, but I regret the fact that I require a motor vehicle to do that. I regret utilizing fossil fuels to power said vehicle, and I regret that ownership and operation of said vehicle comes with obligatory government regulations such as identification, registration, and taxes. The resources required for the mass production and maintenance of these vehicles also goes completely against my values, as does the usage of fossil fuels to power them and the infrastructure that allows me to travel with ease between cities or locations. So here's a breakdown of some bullet points of some of the goals and challenges I've set for myself. I want to specifically bathe naked in natural bodies of water twice per week. So that in itself presents a certain challenge, but I want to try it. I have to find places that are secluded enough to where this won't be an issue. Definitely can't do it at the beach here. Too many people. I want to live off of a limited wardrobe and wash my clothes by hand in natural bodies of water or utilizing natural bodies of water. I have a way to do that is safe and environmentally conscious. I want to walk and hike barefoot every single day. I want to walk to my local markets and utilize local farmers markets or bulk sections at different food stores that are least harmful or most in alignment with my values. I will be meal prepping snacks and meals to help on days when I am tired. I'm limiting screen time and replacing it with reading or creative crafts and activities. I will be foraging from my own neighborhood and also taking foraging classes so that I can learn as I go. I will be creating videos and documenting my journey along the way. I will explore the local water springs, the natural springs that we have around here. We have one in particular that is about 40-ish minutes away from me, maybe 45 minutes away from me. And I want to find this natural spring because this could be a free and abundant source of clean drinking water. I want to sew some of my own clothing garments from reclaimed sources, which I already have a ton of fabric and garments that I've purchased secondhand that are made of natural fibers. That will be part of this project. I'm working on communicating more compassionately. There are a lot of layers of subconscious shame tactics in my language and how I express myself that I've noticed over the years that I want to address and work on, because shame is not an efficient teaching tool. I don't want any of it in me, and I don't want anyone feeling it because of me. So compassionate communication is key. I'm revisiting a book that I read 5 years ago called Nonviolent Communication, and I'm using that to retrain my thinking and how I think about how I communicate and how I actually communicate. No swearing. I'm working on not swearing anymore because I don't want my language to be the reason why someone misses my message. I used to be someone who didn't swear at all. In my teen years, I did quite a bit, and then for a while, I didn't swear at all. And when I moved to California, the community I landed in, a bunch of sailors with a bunch of potty mouths, and I just got into the habit of talking like that. Nothing morally wrong with it. I'm not saying that I have any qualms with people who swear or speak with expletives. It's just something for me that I don't want it to be the reason why someone has a difficult time connecting with my message. Words carry a lot of energy based on the perceptions and experiences that people have with those words and with that language. So that is something that I will be working on in relation to compassionate communication. I'm going to tell the truth. I will be very honest about every part of this experience, including maybe the less socially acceptable things to talk about. I'm going to be talking about potty things and personal hygiene things, and all of it will, of course, be done compassionately, but I am going to be telling the whole truth. I want everyone to know I'm not doing this because I feel like I have to, or because I feel like I need to do this to be a good person. This is an area that I've really been struggling with, of not being able to shift into alignment with my values. And that has brought a lot of frustration and depression, anxiety, and I've just been stuck in a rut of not knowing what steps to take to move forward. So I'm going to take a giant radical leap forward in this challenge. And I invite anyone who is curious to try doing their own challenge. It's not about New Year's resolutions. It's not about following rules. Like I said at the beginning, this is about rewriting my thoughts and being the creator in my own story. I see myself as both the paintbrush and the painting. I am the pen in the hand of the creator, and I'm also the masterpiece. It's a collaborative effort that's done in abiding, in relationship. You know, I conceptualize part of who creator is as the billions of years of evolution and then some that I'm not even aware of, informing the fact that all of these different things had to happen in order for my two lineages to meet in order to create me. And I'm here because there is some kind of living intelligence that decided whether or not that was a conscious, sentient decision to birth me into this place, or just the culmination of billions of years of random chance selection. Whatever you want to believe, I'm not trying to push my beliefs. I just feel such a deep sense of purpose in my life, in the opportunities that I have to create something. I don't believe that any single one of us is powerless. I believe we have so much more power than we realize, but the power is in compassion and love and empathy, and in wielding our intentions in a way that loves, in a way that brings about joy. I want everyone to experience that. I want every single human being to have the chance to experience overflowing abundant joy and abundance in their life circumstances. And I believe 100% it's possible. I'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with me on this journey. I don't consider myself at being the best, content creator, in that I feel a little bit cringy saying like and subscribe and leave a comment. However, your engagement and participation is important to me. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear like what's going on for real in the world of you. I know so many people who are just going through changes right now, and I'd love to hear about what your highest desires and values are and what you are doing in your life to live in alignment with those values and desires. So please leave a comment. I invite and welcome all of your feedback and input and just whatever thoughts you might have based on what I shared with you. Do like this video and subscribe to my channel because I want to keep our connection and our relationship going, and I want to keep having these kinds of conversations with you. So wherever you are at today, remember you are enough as you are. You are intrinsically valuable. You are worthy of love, and I'm just sending you all the love in my heart and praying for your highest good. So my friends, thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. And until next time, I pray you stay well. Okay, bye.